You are right where you are. You are where you are. That's profound. Write that down. I am where I am. I am where I am. I am where I am. And what is the vibration that is emanating from me right now? Because I am where I am, but where I will be very soon is a result of the vibration that I'm offering right now where I am that I am. You follow? You don't have memory that is hindering you. Your brain is not a storage cabinet. You have vibrational triggers that you emanate that attract other things. So the world that you live is new right now, 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 new right now. And you get a little run of vibration going on. Manifestations are going to follow. And we acknowledge that as manifestations that please you follow, that it's abundantly easier to focus upon something that pleases you and leapfrog into more that pleases you. We acknowledge that. We just want you to know that you are never going to be standing in a place where everything's exactly the way you think you want it to be. And if you will give up right now the need for it to be just the way you want it to be so that you can feel good, and instead decide that feeling good is all that matters and that you have the ability to feel good even if you're standing in a place where there's not a lot of physical evidence of the good feeling that you want, if you will use the power of your mind, then we like it so much. Someone called out the word, then you will experience the freedom that you think the dollars will bring you. We've enjoyed this interaction immensely. We always like it best when you are patient enough to allow us a rampage of vibrational reality. When you will listen as you are with intenseness as we express to you the law basis of this universe. Because when you sync up with these universal laws and you no longer buck the current that have been giving you the rough ride, as you sync up with these universal laws, then that zest is within you and you vacillate from calm and satisfied to eager and passionate. That's your world. And that's what you came to live. That's the contrast that you wanted. So, we are eager to talk with you about anything that is important to you. There is nothing that is off limits. You will notice a perfect unfolding as we find the perfect conversation with the perfect person at the perfect time to move the conversation into the perfect place. So, what do you want to talk about? It's going to be a really, 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 really good day. Or can we say it is being a really, 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 really good day? This was a really good conversation. It's something that we've been saying about our human friends for quite a while, and that is momentum matters to you no matter what disc you're on. In other words, you'll choose the faster momentum. You would rather have drama on a lower disc than peace and calm on a higher disc in most cases, because you like the feeling of movement. Because it's meatier, it's more interesting to you. It's not an easy thing to be sitting in a momentum and just reach for something that is different. And yet the books that we write and the processes that we offer is all about this. But what we're really wanting to demonstrate here, and we want you to feel it, we want all of you to feel it, but we really want you to get this. We want you to understand that it's perfectly all right for you to be in a place where there is momentum that is carrying you where you don't want to be. We want you to make peace with that momentum. We want you to say, it's a natural consequence of being physically focused. It's a natural consequence of what I've been thinking about. We want you to try to find words that soothe yourself. Because in the soothing, there is the releasing of resistance. And in the releasing of resistance, there is the slowing of unwanted momentum and then the subsequent speeding of wanted momentum. So the more you can soothe yourself. But we don't want to soothe you with things that aren't law-based and accurate. We don't want to say to Luke, the game is rigged. We want to say to Luke, you're more likely to win when you're feeling good. don't want to say to Luke, it's hard to get that ball in that basket under those conditions because they've got everything slanted against you. We want to say to him, there is a way to do it. People are doing it, and if you want to do it, you can find the way to do it, and you might not find it immediately, but you can find the way to do it. But your vibration and how you feel about it, the game has to be fun, or you're not going to win playing. That really is the message that we're wanting to send. You have to choose the disc first and then apply. And so in fairness, we're being unfair because we're asking you from where you have clearly stated that you are to try to find that high-flying disc. And it's not even possible from where you are in that momentum to find that high-flying disc. So then what's the point of it? If I can't find it, given where I am, what do? Well, you look for as much distraction as you can find. You look for as many things that are general in nature that make you feel good. You set goals like, I'm going to pay attention to the way I feel. You set goals like, I really care about how I feel. You say, my singular goal is to get on that high-flying disc. My singular goal is to feel some positive emotion. My singular goal is to breathe deeply and feel good again. Esther remembers vividly after Jerry made his transition, sitting on the deck in Del Mar and looking out at the ocean and breathing her first really good, fresh breath of air that she'd had in a long, long time. And it felt in that breathing of it in like the big black cloud lifted. And in none of that was there any wrongness about sadness or wrongness about being on a lower disc. There's just this eternal, God-given, inherent, innate, it's within every fiber of your being, knowledge and desire to be here. Because that's what's natural to you, you see. So the easiest way we know to get there is to not be there, which makes you want to be there, and then put yourself in your bed tonight and say something really soft and gentle, not tomorrow I'm going to make it happen, or tomorrow I'm going to get on the high-flying disc and I'm going to stay there. Nothing like that, because in all of that efforting, you just pick those efforting discs. Instead, you just say, tomorrow's going to be a good day. And I'm going to be aware of where I am. And I'm sure when I first awaken, I'm going to feel that conscious awareness of lack of negative momentum. And then when you awaken, just lie there for a moment and feel for it. And if you do that, we promise you, all of you, if your singular intent, when you put yourself to bed every night, is tomorrow I'm going to start here. And I might not even make it till breakfast, but I'm going to start there. And you do that tomorrow, and then whatever happens, happens tomorrow. And then the next day, you start there, and whatever happens, happens. And then the next day, you start there, and then whatever happens, happens. You might get a week or 2 or 3 into it, but it is our promise to you. You will find that high-flying disc. And it will be evident enough to you that then the results of that day. One of the things that was really on Esther's mind is that the week before, she had gone to that same fair. It's the first time she'd ever been there. They'd been in the area for years. First time they'd ever been there. And friends invited them to go to see Colby Calais and go to the fair. Now, this group of friends was high-flying. It's just who they always are when they get together. And so it was a day like Kate had, of everything going exactly right. And when you have a few days of everything going exactly right, and by that we mean strangers play with you in meaningful ways, weather cooperates with you in incredibly meaningful ways, all manner of things. It's like the concierge in the sky has named you the most important person alive and is just walking ahead of you, clearing the space to make sure that everything in your world is perfect. That's what it feels like. That's what it is like. That's what it bees like when you get on that high-flying disc and you stay there just for a little while. And then things just come out of the woodwork. Things that you're not conjuring, things that you're not demanding, you're not orchestrating them, you're not even planning them so much. This sounds like an odd conversation to have in a seminar that's sort of based on deliberate creation. But we want to call it deliberate getting on the disking. Period. Deliberately get on the disc and then watch what happens, because you're right. Your vortex is pregnant with all of those things that you want. It's bulging with all of the things that you want. You've been asking and asking. It's all there. It's queued up. It's ready. There's just one thing that has to happen. You've got to become a cooperative component. You've got to get on that disc where all of that is. You got to get there, and you can, and it's not hard. You just can't keep telling the same story. So over time, we've broken this into 3 steps. We want you to understand that you're sifting through the contrast and you're asking all day, every day. That's step 1. Ask for what you prefer. Step 2 is not your work. Step 2 is the source within you, your inner being, that larger non-physical part of you, becomes the vibrational equivalent of what you have asked for. In the moment that you ask for it, and each thing that you ask for later, each amendment to desire that you offer goes into this spinning vortex. We want to demonstrate it here in this pure high vibration. Goes into this spinning vortex, and in that high flying, pure positive energy vortex, all that you have asked for already is. In other words, that larger part of you has become it. Now, this is where our physical friends get freaky, because it is so annoying to hear that everything that you want already is, because you want it to be is right here where you is. You want it to be here where you be. You don't want it to be off in some nebulous, non-physical, ghost-like atmosphere. We get that. But we just want you to know that the steps to the process are you ask and it becomes vibrationally first. And then you must find a way to be a vibrationally equivalent to what you're asking for. But you don't do that easily, because you've been practicing your observation of what is with such intensity and with so much drama and trauma and with so many people telling you, can't you see what is? Can't you see what is? Can't you see what is? That it's hard for you to hear someone like us say, never mind what is. Instead of noticing what is, let what is have been the bouncing off place for what really is, and now you try to find vibrational alignment with what really is, and then it will really, really, really be what is. You must become interested in the vibrational reality that you've created, because if you're not aware of it and interested in it and practicing consistently the vibration of it, you cannot achieve your point of attraction. You cannot get your point of attraction moving with the same momentum, in the same vibration, with the same velocity of what you've asked for. And until you do that, it's going to bounce right out of your experience. It cannot come to you unless you are a vibrational match to it. So the big key is, how can I be a vibrational match to abundance when I'm living the absence of abundance? How can I be a vibrational match to clarity when I'm standing in a state of confusion? And the answer to that question is, you've got to understand that it's a vibrational experience, not an observational experience. You've got to figure out how you can offer a vibration that is different from your observation. Or you've got to figure out how to observe with more specific, deliberate clarity of focus. So that's what we'll be talking about here today. You are deliberate creators? Well, maybe. Sometimes. You are the creator of your reality? Absolutely. You create some of it by default? For sure. You have the ability to be deliberate in everything you create? Absolutely. And by the end of this gathering, you will understand fully how to go about that. So, here you stand in your physical body, sifting and sorting and asking, doing step 1 so effectively, as individuals and as collective consciousness. And the evolution of all species is about exactly that. Contrast inspires you to want more. So source becomes vibrationally a part of what you have become, and establishes a vibrational frequency that you can never separate yourself from. And you can tell that that vibrational frequency exists because you have emotions that tell you that it does. When you feel elation, that's your indicator that you're right now in perfect resonance with that vibrational frequency. When you feel frustration, that's your indication that you are not in perfect resonance with that frequency, but you're not so far off from it. When you feel hopeful, you're closer to that frequency. When you feel love, you're right smack dab